Hello, and welcome to another Java tutorial. Today we're going to be working with arrays, which I will get started on in a minute. I just wanted to quickly say that I will now be recording these videos in a bit higher quality than before because YouTube's high quality requirements, you could say, are 1280 by 720p, so that's what I'm going to record these in, so you can watch them in the highest quality. Anyway, so let's get started. An array in Java, and pretty much any other programming language, is kind of a group of objects which can be used together. So, for example, if you needed to declare a ton of strings, you needed a string for a name, you needed one for a town name, or an area code, or a phone number. Instead of going string name and then string number, etc., you can make an array. An array is pretty much just a grouping of all of those, so you don't need to type string over and over again. And you can also do this with integers and objects, but we're going to be using strings, for example, today. So let's get started. So first what we're going to need to do is type string, square brackets, and then after that we're going to name our array name, so our variable, and we're going to name this fruits, and then we're going to set it equal to, and then you'll recognize these brackets. It's normally where, for example, maybe a method's information would go in, but for an array it's kind of the same setup. So after fruits and our brackets, we can type quotations, and let's do our first fruit. So let's name that apple, and then comma, and let's add another one, banana, comma, and then mango, comma, kiwi, comma, and pineapple. So let's just finish this off by adding a semicolon to the end, and we have successfully created our first Java array. And so inside our array, fruits, which is a string type of array, not integer, inside the fruits array, there's an apple, a banana, a mango, a kiwi, and a pineapple. Now, what if we wanted to print all of these out to the console? Well, it's actually quite simple, which might seem a tiny bit confusing at first, but once you get the logic of it, it's very, very understandable. So first, let's write syso, or system.out.println, and then all the values in the array are, and then after that we're going to make a for loop, and I had explained what a for loop is in an older tutorial. It's like a while loop except more compact. So let's get started with that. So what you're going to do is you're going to type for, and then int I, and then we're going to set int I equal to 0, and then I'm going to I is less than fruits.length. And now what fruits.length will do is it will find all the fruits in the fruits array, and it'll find the length of it. So it'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So instead of typing 5, it's much safer to find the actual length of the array rather than typing just a random integer in. So if you're comparing objects in an array, it's always highly suggested to use .length, which will find the length of it. It's just good housekeeping. And then after that, we're going to put a semicolon and then I++. And of course, this will add 1, because plus means add 1. And then after that, we can, actually, yeah, so we're good to go here. Let's just add quotations. And then we can do syso, or system.out.println, and then fruits, and in brackets, I. So the reason we're doing this is because if you see we have the integer I, which we declared as 0, what it'll do is it'll find the objects within the fruits variable, and it will, of course, compare them, as in finding the length of this array. And then what it's going to do is it's going to set the selected object in the array. So once again, for example, for fruits.length, it would first select apple and assign it to the variable I, and then it would print out apple to the console. And then it would go to banana and do the same thing, and then so on and so forth until we reach the end of the array. So when we run this program, it should say all the values in the array are, and it should print out all the values inside this array. So let's test it out by running, and it should ask us to save the resources, and that's good. Now let me drag the console up so you can see what's going on. If you look here, it actually printed completely successfully. It says all the values in the array are, and it printed out each and every value within this array. So apple, banana, mango, kiwi, and pineapple. So what it did was it looped through this whole array right here to each and every one of these, and it printed them out to the console. So that's kind of how to use an array as of now. And in the next tutorial, I will show you how to use a randomizer so you can randomly select one of these out of the array, which is much cooler and allows you to make more kind of diverse and pretty much cooler programs. So look forward to that, and I will see you in the next one.